Hey, everybody out there, Destiny is here. Guys, I just had to come and do this quick video because I did not want today to go by without me speaking to my beautiful friends out there, my viewers, and all of my subscribers, and the members that's on my Facebook page. Guys, listen, let me tell you what happened today. Today, my daughter and I, we went to see this movie. She wanted to go, so I said, okay, let's go. So we had to drive like 15 minutes or so to go see it because it was not playing at the theater in our neighborhood, in the town that we live in. But the movie is called Queen and Slim. Queen and Slim. Wow. It left a very strong impact in my life. I mean, the movie was, it made me think, you know, and it made me think, do a lot of hard thinking about choices. And I have been teaching a lot of my videos lately on choices. You know, choose you, whom or what you will serve. And I did those videos probably about a week and a half ago. You can go back and you can view those videos. But choices. We have to make an ultimate choice. And sometimes we are only given just one choice. I mean, we are sometimes given, okay, choices, but we only have to choose one specific thing. And you know that the Bible said, choose you this day whom you will serve. So I always say, choose you whom or what you will serve. Because a lot of times we have to serve, or we will serve different things, different people, different types of situations that may come up, or choices sometimes will come up and all of a sudden we caught like a deer in the headlight, and at the moment we have to make a choice and decision. Well, that movie, Queen and Slim, whew, guys, if you have not seen that movie, go see Queen and Slim. It's playing in the theaters now in most places I know. Like I said, it's not yet in my city, so we had to drive distance away, but I did see the video and it gave me a lot to think about. Choices. One choice. And sometimes, like I said, we are put in a place so quick and so fast, because sometimes life just happens. It just happens. And at that moment, we have to choose quick. And this is how this movie was set up. Because when Slim was stopped by that police officer, and the police officer, you know, started asking him all these questions. So he asked him, why did you pull me over? And you know, Queen was in the car with him, and Slim was driving, and so the officer kind of was getting kind of rational and everything, and they said, well, what did we do wrong? Then he said that, oh, you got a tail light on your car is out, and blah, blah, this kind of information. And then he said you were swerving across the road, which it wasn't a really whole lot of emotion or swearing. That's when he was trying to take his cell phone from Slim, from Queen, because Queen was going through his phone, and he did not want her going into his phone and accessing his information. Now, they were on their very first date. They had just really possibly met and went out on their first date, and he was taking her home. It was just crazy how it all happened. In that process, you know, he would say, tell me how to get to your house. And she said, give me your phone and I will tell you from the GPS system, and so blah, 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 blah. But he said, don't you know how to get to your own house? And so all that stirred up this whole thing that happened. The police pulled him over. It was just crazy. It was crazy. It was a crazy movie. I'm not going to try to tell you everything that went on in that movie, but it was crazy to me. So, the police officer, he wanted to open your trunk. I was, what's in your trunk? And I mean, he was just interrogating Slim. And he was just just doing things to aggravate him. I mean, really aggravating him. So he got out, he was polite, he was such a gentleman. He said, open my trunk, you can see, but what's in there? He said, shoe boxes. Well, then open them and see. He said, officer, you can look at the shoe boxes. And he said, what's in the shoe boxes? And Slim kind of chuckled a little bit and laughed. Then he said, why are you laughing for? He said, because officer, it's cold out here and I'm just trying to hurry up and get through this. Then he go like, you stop it right now. And he started pushing him up against the car and doing all crazy things. And Queen in the car was saying, you don't have a warrant, officer. You can't search us. You don't have a warrant. Where's your warrant? Where's your warrant? And that really teed him up. He kept telling her to be quiet, be quiet. And so when she decided to step out of the car to go back to the trunk of the car where the officer and Slim was, he said, don't you get out of that car. The officer kept yelling at her, don't you step out of the car. Don't you step out of that car. And she stepped out of the car anyway. And as she stepped out, he shot her in her left thigh, left leg, somewhere up her left thigh part of her body. And so then that was like, that really roused up Slim at that point. And then all of a sudden, the officer got really, really fidgety then at that point, because now his emotion had climbed to a whole nother level, because he done made a choice. He done made a decision that he loose fire, and he shot this person. So all this kept going on, and then all of a sudden he began to come at Slim again, and they got into a shuffle match, and they was really shuffling, and they was shuffling, and Queen was laying on the ground because she had been shot in her left thigh. So he was really brutal. All I could see was this officer's gonna kill this young man. He's gonna really brutalize this man. Then he's gonna turn back over. He's gonna kill this woman. And he saw that. And in a flash of a moment, he had to make a quick decision. Once he finally tossed him and he got him down on the ground, he rolled over, he got the officer's gun and he shot him. Choices that we have to make. Choices. And he lay there. And she lay there bleeding from her thigh. And just in a flash of a moment, their whole life changed right there in front of them. All because of choices. And sometimes we have to make a choice quick, fast, in a hurry. And sometimes we don't even think rationally, but sometimes it comes to the face that we see our life in danger and we have to defend ourselves as well. But it's all about choices. And the whole movie went on and on and on. A whole lot of decisions and choices they had to make. And he wanted to turn himself in, and she said, they not going to listen to a black man killing a white officer. And she said, no, we got to get out of here. And he's like, where we going? I said, we got to keep running. And that's when they went out on the run, and they went several miles or several hours away. And she said, my uncle will help me. So they drove several hours, a long distance to Kentucky. I don't know where they were, but that situation expired. So the officer, they were tracking them everywhere they went. Somehow they would track them. And she asked her uncle for help. And at first, her uncle was reluctant to help. But she said, you owe me a favor. You owe me a favor. You owe me a favor. And I come to find out later in the movie why he owed her a favor, because he had killed her mother. And she was an attorney. And somehow when she was she passed her bar exam, and her first case was to defend her uncle, and she got him off and out of jail. Anyway, police came into uncle's house and everything, and they were in bed, they was hiding upstairs, and he kept saying, well, what do you want here, officer? Why are you here, And he would ask him, well, who's the truck outside? And I mean, it was just crazy stuff. So finally he got the officer away, and the uncle went upstairs and told them they got to get out of here and get out of here fast. And she asked them to help us to get to Cuba. Help us to get across that water, because when we get to Miami, we need to get across that water, and I don't know how we're going to get across that water. She said, I need a car so we can dump the truck that they had stolen from another officer. And so we can be able to have another car that nobody really got tied us to. So the uncle gave up his other car to them, and it was a whole lot of story. During that pathing journey, a lot of people was pulled into their circumstances, into their situations, and to their choices, and a lot of other choices was made. And it was crazy. It was crazy, guys. It was crazy. It was really crazy. But it all boiled down to is life is choice driven. And sometimes life comes along with choices that sometimes is forced upon us, and at a quick twinkling of our eye, sometimes we have to make that ultimate decision right there and right then. And we may not be thinking, is this going to be best for me? This is going to be best for people in my life. I know right now I'm standing at the brink of me dying, or may never survive through the incidents that I'm standing in, but I have to do something now. And that's what they did. He didn't mean it. It wasn't his purpose, I don't think, his intent to really kill the man. He was really like self-defense, because it was a brutal struggle between the officer and Slim. But all the choices went on. In the end of the movie, they headed toward down south toward Miami, and the guy saying, I got friends, they're gonna help you, and this friend was gonna help you to meet this other friend that was gonna get you on this plane, and the plane was gonna fly you over across all the water into Cuba, and end of the story. It didn't happen that way. They made it there to the friend's house, but somehow another person, third, fourth, fifth party, he got into the situation, and it turned it all the way around, and they were trusting this last person to get them to the plane, and it was a setup. He had already agreed with the police to bring him in for money. That was that person's choice. So as he was taking them to that plane that evening, for them to board that plane to get out of Miami and get across that water to Cuba, he was riding them into a trap. And this guy rode them in. The plane was sitting on the runway, but it was all a setup. And the moment they got there, they were surrounded with so many police cars, and they all standing there saying, don't run, do not move, get on the ground, get on the ground. And they stood there, He said, I said, get down on the ground. They was getting all emotional. I mean, so many of them. And Queen just stood there, you know, and she said, I will die here holding your hand. I won't let you go. Guys, boy, you know what? All the anger and all the excitement and everything just kept escalating, and boy, you know, bam, and they shot Queen. And she fell on the ground. He stood there, and they still telling him, get down on the ground, get down on the ground now. And he just stood there. Finally, got down on his knees, and he looked at Queen, and he touched her. He could feel life going out of her body, and he knew that she had died. He rubbed her face, and he held her. Then he took her and put her on his neck and his chest, and he held her there, and they were still yelling at him to get down on the ground. Then he decided to pick Queen up in his arms, and he was walking toward all of the police officers that had poured fire on them. He was walking, he was carrying her. And the closer that he came to them, he did not say a word. He was just walking. That was his choice. He was walking toward them. I thought that he was giving himself and turning himself in, and he was giving up. But they didn't take it like that. They all let fire go him, about 15, 20 shots, and just shot at me. And he kept struggling with her in his arms, and he fell. And they died together. And that was sad to me. Anyway, I just talk about that. The choices that we make. Sometimes we say choices. But anyway, guys, go see the movie called Queen and Slim. Make sure I got the name right. Queen and Slim. Go see it, then come back, Tell me your viewpoints on this movie. Tell me your thoughts about this movie. Share how you perceive this movie, played out. Tell me what you think the whole message was behind this movie through what you saw and perceived as you were watching this movie. I found it very sad. It was heartbroken because I was hoping that they would make it to Miami. They would get on that helicopter and they would fly across that water to Cuba and they would live a happy life, because actually Slim was defending himself from an outrageous, upset officer who was really, at that point, was out to kill. He already shot Queen Selma. And I sat there when it all happened, when he died, and my heart broke at that point. I was numb. I sat there in that theater, and I was numb. I hurt. It felt like real life to me. And so when my daughter and I got up and we were moving out of the theater to the front door to go out into our car, into the parking lot, I broke down. And I cried. And then I was like, "Oh, what's wrong with you?" And I just cried because it hurts. It reminded me so much. I don't know, many, many years ago, this old movie was called Bonnie and Clyde. And I watched that movie so many times. And that movie brought back a lot of emotions and hurt to me to see someone brutally killed and murdered like they did Bonnie and Clyde. And that what brought back that flashback, and it hurt me, and I cried. To see humanity, human beings, mutilized, brutalized, and just shot down like they were nothing, and that hurt. So check out the video yourself, Queens and Slim. It just came out, I think, in the theaters this past weekend, I believe, or last weekend, sometime last week, I think. But check it out. Come back, let me know your thoughts and your take on this movie, and put them in the comment box. Guys, I love you. I will see you next time at the next video. This is Quick Decimus out here. I'm in the gym. I'm in the gym. And I was out here because a lot of times I like to come to the gym, and I like to get on the treadmills and things. I'm just a good part of the gym. That's some of the things that I do. But this is one of the things that I really want to try to do is start lifting weights. But something happened to me at one point where I could not do that. But anyway, that's it. Guys, I love you, and I will see you the next time. Please don't forget, if you see the movie, I want to hear your take on this. I want to hear your comments and your views on how you perceive this whole story that this movie was trying to portray. Hook up your girl Destiny. Hook up Destiny. Hook me up and help me to understand. My daughter and I, we saw our views were totally different, and we all may have different views, but I want to hear yours. Namaste, and I'm gonna see you at the next video. I'm gonna see you at the next video. Love you, and I love you, and I love you. Namaste, and good afternoon to everyone.